Okay, I want you to do something for me. Just, put on your thinking cap for a second
Mm.
and try to picture a creature that feels like it was built from the spare parts of three completely different animals.
Oh, that's a wonderful image. And honestly, it's not that far from the truth for the animal we're talking about today.
It's true. I mean, when you really look into it, this animal swims exactly like a hippo.
Right.
It keeps just its eyes, its ears, and its nostrils above the water, basically using its head like a little periscope.
Yeah, a floating periscope.
Then you watch it eat, and it chews like a camel, grinding its teeth side to side, not up and down.
Hmm.
And then when it gets surprised or wants to be assertive, it lets out this sharp, quick bark, like
Yeah.
a dog.
It's a real patchwork of adaptations, isn't it? But what's so fascinating is how all these seemingly mismatched parts come together for a perfectly unified survival strategy.
Absolutely. So today's deep dive is all about the capybara, the cappy, which is, get this, the largest rodent in the world.
Right.
And we've gone through the source material to figure out why this semi-aquatic giant isn't just one of the most uniquely adapted animals in South America, but also one of the most socially complex. Our mission today is to figure out what makes this grass eater so much more than just a giant guinea pig.
And the sources really deliver. I mean, we've got everything from its deep evolutionary history to some pretty surprising digestive habits.
Oh, yeah.
And to really understand the capybara, you have to look past its size and into its whole lifestyle, especially its complete reliance on water.
So let's start right there with this idea of it being the king of rodents, because the size difference between the capybara and everything else in its family it's just staggering.
That really is the defining feature. We're talking about an animal that, on average, weighs over 50 kilograms as an adult.
50 kilograms. So you're telling me you could put 60 of its closest living relative, the rock cappy, on a scale, and it'd still only weigh about the same as one adult capybara?
It's incredible. I mean, when people think rodent, they picture a rat or a squirrel. This is, well, you said it. It's like a fluffy, four-legged mini cow.
And that explains the historical confusion.
Look,
Right?
absolutely. Early European explorers saw this big, blocky animal and just didn't think rodent at all. They actually thought it was some kind of pig.
Which is so funny because now we know they're basically just giant, highly specialized guinea pigs.
Exactly. And if you look at their evolutionary history, this size isn't some weird fluke. It used to be the norm. The capybara we have today is really the last survivor of a long line of gigantic grass-eating rodents from millions of years ago in South America.
So we're looking at a genuine prehistoric survivor.
We are, yeah. It outlasted all of its even bigger cousins. Before animals like cows and horses showed up in South America, these giant rodents filled that big herbivore niche.
I love that its name is just so direct about that.
It is, isn't it? The name capybara is from the indigenous Tupi language, and the word capybara literally just means grass eater.
Simple and to the point.
And then their scientific genus name, Hydrochirus, means water hog or water pig.
Which brings us perfectly to their environment. Everything about this animal just screams water.
Water is not optional for them. It's everything. It's for food, for safety. They have to have standing water available all year round. They just can't survive without it.
And their bodies are just, they're engineered for it. We mentioned the hippo thing earlier.
Right, if you look at their head, you see it immediately. The small eyes, the nose, the ears, they're all right on top.
So they can just sink down until only the very top of their head is showing.
Exactly. It makes them almost impossible for a predator on the shore to spot. And the details are amazing. They have these little flaps on their ears that seal out water when they go completely under.
Wow.
And their fur, it's not like a beaver's, for insulation. It's long and brittle, designed to dry out super fast once they're back on land. And their feet are slightly webbed, which makes them great swimmers.
So this all has to be a defense strategy, right? What are they hiding from?
Mostly the big cats of South America. Jaguars, pumas, ocelots, and in the water, caimans and anacondas. For a capybara, the water is a sanctuary.
Right.
When a predator is near, they can stay completely underwater for, 4 to 5 minutes at a time.
4 to 5 minutes, that's an eternity when a jaguar is on the bank.
It's a critical survival tool. They really do live on the border between two worlds, and they use that to their advantage. They're so comfortable in the water, they even mate and sleep while partially submerged.
That is the definition of semi-aquatic. But okay, speaking of basic life functions, let's talk about fueling that 50-kilogram body.
Ah, yes.
Because the capybara's diet is where things go from specialized to Just plain weird.
We absolutely do. This is where we shift from elegant aquatic adaptations to some less elegant but very effective digestive mechanics.
Okay, so they're herbivores. They eat a ton of grass and water
A
plants,
staggering amount. An adult can eat over 4 kilograms of really tough grass every day.
which explains the teeth. Like all rodents, their front teeth just never stop growing.
They have to. The grass is so abrasive it just wears them down daily. They need that constant growth to keep chewing.
But this reliance on tough grass, it brings us to the weirdest fact about them, this cecotrophy thing.
It's a necessary recycling loop. So you have to understand, the capybara is what's called a hindgut fermenter.
Okay.
Now, a cow is a ruminant. Fermentation happens in a specialized stomach first, so they absorb nutrients on the first pass.
But the capybara is different.
Completely different. For them, grass goes through the stomach first, and then it gets to the large intestine. That's where microbes break down all the tough fiber and create the really nutritious stuff.
Hey, hold on. If the good stuff, the nutrients, the vitamins, is made in the intestine, but the stomach and the main absorption area come before that, how do they get the nutrients? Wouldn't
Yeah.
it just pass right through?
That is the exact problem that evolution had to solve. And the solution is, well, it's unique. They had to pass that fermented food out of their body as soft, nutrient-rich pellets.
Uh-huh.
And then they have to eat it again.
So, the first pass is just prepping the meal.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's pre-digestion. The microbes do all the hard work. And the second pass is where the capybara actually absorbs all the protein and vitamins. Without that second pass, they'd starve on a full stomach.
Wow. They literally eat their food twice. I don't think I'll ever look at a capybara chewing grass the same way again.
It's a brilliant solution to a huge metabolic problem.
Let's pivot to their social life. Because for an animal with such bizarre digestion, you'd think they'd be solitary or aggressive.
Right, but they're the complete opposite.
They're described as just incredibly laid back,
Yeah.
super social.
They are. They're very calm, very cooperative animals. They live in these herds with a really complex and surprisingly strict social hierarchy.
And the herds can be massive, right? From like 5 all the way up to 100.
Yeah, and the largest groups form during the dry season. It's directly tied to the water. As ponds and rivers shrink, all the capybaras have to crowd around the few remaining water sources. That density just naturally forces the groups to get bigger.
Which means territory must become a huge issue.
A massive issue. They are extremely territorial, and they use scent marking to draw the lines. They have these special glands near their nostrils they rub on plants, and they'll also drag their anal glands or urinate to mark their spot. It's all about claiming that prime real estate with food and water.
And inside the herd, it's a very communal lifestyle, especially with the young,
Yes, the females all tend to give birth around the same time, usually within a 2-week window.
which lets them do communal nursing.
Exactly. It takes a village approach. One mother can go forage while others watch the babies, and it's vital because the young are incredibly vulnerable to predators in that first year.
And to keep everyone together, the young ones are constantly making this little whistling or whining sound.
Yeah, that's how they stay in contact. But their whole vocal range is much more complex than that. They have sharp barks for warnings or dominance.
Right, the dog bark.
And these soft truffle sounds when they're all just moving together as a group.
But here's the thing that just blew my mind. The most amazing fact we found. These sounds, they aren't universal. The sources say the vocalizations are group-specific.
It's a massive finding. It means that one herd of capybaras might have a vocal dialect that another herd, just a short distance away, literally cannot understand.
So they're not just speaking capybara, they're speaking their own herd's specific dialect of capybara.
It suggests their social bonds are so strong that they're actually driving localized linguistic differences. It's a level of learned communication we just don't usually associate with rodents.
It really is. And finally, we have to mention their temperament. They are famous for being chill.
So chill that it extends to other species. They have these great symbiotic relationships with birds. We'll just perch on their backs and eat parasites out of their fur.
A free meal for the bird, a cleaning for the cappy.
It only works because the capybara is so famously tolerant.
So let's just bring this all together for you listening. We started with this bizarre mashup, part hippo, part camel, part dog. And what we found is this incredibly sophisticated, semi-aquatic survivor with a complex society and a digestive strategy that is, well, it's built on recycling.
And their populations are actually quite stable, which, considering they're hunted and face habitat loss, is really a testament to how successful these group survival strategies are.
So what does this all mean for you? I mean, we've covered a lot, but let's go back to that communication point, the idea of group-specific vocalizations.
Yeah.
What it shows us is that communication, even in animals, isn't always this innate, universal thing. It can be built on social learning, like human language.
It really challenges that old assumption that animal calls are just simple genetic signals. It shows us that social groups can create their own little microcultures, even among animals we might otherwise overlook.
Exactly. So here's the final thought for you to chew on. If their barks and truffles are truly incomprehensible to other capybara groups just a few miles away, does that mean every herd is essentially developing its own unique, isolated culture, cast down from one generation to the next through those specific calls?
It's a fascinating question.
Something to ponder the next time you hear a sound in the wild.